Lesson 3.7, Formulas and Functions, page 174. Example 1. Solving and using an area formula. Use the formula for the area of a rectangle. Area equals length times width. A. Find a formula for L in terms of A and W. B. Use the new formula to find the length of a rectangle that has an area of 35 squared feet and a width of 7 feet. To solve for the length, we're going to use our formula A equals L times W. Just like when we're solving equations, draw a line down your equal sign and put a box around the variable that you want to solve for. Since we're solving for L, we're going to divide both sides by W. Our W's will cancel out on the right side, and you're just left with L. On the left side, we have A divided by W. Now we've solved for W, so we can move on to B. Our new formula, length equals area divided by width, will help us with part B. Substitute the given values into the new formula. It tells us that our rectangle has an area of 35 and a width of 7. So length will equal 5. Example 2. Solve the temperature formula. C equals 5/9 times the quantity F minus 32 for F. Let's start off by writing our formula that's given to us. C equals 5/9 times the quantity F minus 32. In this example, it tells us to solve for F. So I want F to be all by itself. First thing I need to do is distribute 5/9 into our parentheses. This will give us C equals 5/9 F minus 160 ninths. Now we can use our inverse operations to solve for F. Start by adding 160 ninths to both sides. They'll cancel out on the right side. Since we can't actually add C plus 160 ninths, we'll just write C plus 160 ninths equals 59 F. We have one more step to get F by itself. We'll need to divide both sides by 5/9. Remember that dividing fractions is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 5/9, which is 9/5. So we're going to cancel out on our right side, so we're just left with F, and then distribute our 9/5 into our parentheses. 9/5 times C is 9/5 C. Let me go over to our side to work out 9/5 times 160 ninths. So that shows me that 9/5 times 160/9 is 32. Now that I have f all by itself, I've finished example 2. Example 3. Solving and using an interest formula. Oops. There we go. A. The simple interest I on an investment of P dollars at an interest rate R for T years is given by I equals P R T. Solve this formula for R. B. Find the interest rate R for an investment of $1,500 that earns $54 in simple interest in 1 year. Let's start off with A. Using our formula, interest equals P dollars times R, which is our rate, times T, which is our time. We need to solve for R. P and T are being multiplied by R, so I'm going to undo that and divide both sides by PT. So R equals I over PT. Now we can move on to part B. Part B asks us to find the interest rate. So we know that R equals I over PT. We'll plug in the information that they give us. We know that our amount of dollars is $1,500. And we've earned $54 in simple interest for 1 year. This will give us 54 over 1,500. Since I'm looking for an actual rate, I'll divide to get 0.036. To change our decimal to a percent, move your decimal 2 times. So 3.6%. Example 4. The Pathfinder was launched on December 4th, 1996, during its 212-day flight to Mars. It traveled about 310 million miles. Estimate the time the Pathfinder would have taken to reach Mars traveling at the following speeds. A. 30,000 miles per hour. B. 40,000 miles per hour. C. 60,000 miles per hour. And D. 80,000 miles per hour. Which of the 4 speeds is the best estimate of Pathfinder's average speed? Let's start off using our distance formula. D equals RT. D is distance, R is rate, T is time. Since I'm looking for the time, I'm going to solve for T by dividing both sides by R. So T equals D divided by R. Now I can use this formula to solve for A. My distance is 310 million miles. The rate that they gave us in A was 30,000 miles per hour. I can simplify this to get about 10,333 hours. That means about 431 days. For B, we'll use the same distance and divide by 40,000. About 7,750 hours, which is about 323 days. C, distance over rate will simplify to 5,167 hours, which is about 215 days. Then finally, D, distance over rate will simplify to about 3,875 hours. And this is about 161 days. When I go back to the problem, I see that this trip took 212 days. So, Pathfinder's average speed was about 60,000 miles per hour, because 215 days is closest to 212 days. Example 5. Rewriting an equation in function form. Rewrite the equation 3x plus 4 plus y equals 4, so y is a function of x. This means that I want to solve for y. I want y to be all by itself, so I'm going to move the 3x. To cancel out 3x, I need to subtract 3x from both sides. 3x minus 3x is 0. 4 minus 3x. 4 and negative 3x are not like terms, so I cannot subtract them. So it simplifies to y equals 4 minus 3x. Example 6. Rewrite the equation 3x plus y equals 4 so that x is a function of y. Use the result to find x when y equals negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. Our equation is again 3x plus y equals 4. But this time we're solving for x. So we'll start by subtracting y from both sides. 3x equals 4 minus y. The last thing we need to do is divide both sides by 3. So x equals 4 minus y all over 3. Now on to part B. We want to use our result to find x when y equals negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. We can make a table to help us. So when y equals negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1, we'll know what x equals. We'll use our formula that we just created. X equals 4 minus y over 3. We'll start by plugging in negative 2 for y. Four minus negative 2 is 6, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Four minus negative 1 is 5. 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. When y equals negative 2, x equals 2. When y equals negative 1, x equals 5/3. When y equals 0, x equals 4/3. And when y equals 1, x equals 1.